When the world is struck by a zombie virus, here's what we should do to increase our chances of survival. As long as you remember these rules of survival, you have a good chance of surviving. The first rule is to control your weight and have good cardiorespiratory fitness. The first victims of the zombie virus will likely be those who cannot run or move quickly. Just take a look at the overweight person below. The second rule is to learn to fight back. When the number of zombies rapidly increases, running alone won't be enough. Regardless of the weapon we have, we must be ready to strike back without hesitation. Check out the example of the woman who failed to defend herself and got killed by zombies. The third rule is to be vigilant at all times. Even when going to the restroom, we cannot afford to take any risks, as zombies can appear unexpectedly from anywhere. Article 4. Observe the rules of the road when using the vehicle. Cars are essential tools for survival in the apocalypse. Always wear your seatbelt. Avoid reckless driving, and don't just drive around because there are no traffic police to enforce traffic rules. Look at the boy below. He became the protagonist of the movie because he followed these survival rules. Before the virus outbreak, the male protagonist, Columbus, was a typical introverted guy, spending his days playing video games and drinking soda. His dream was to impress the girl next door. One evening, there was a knock on his door, and it turned out to be the girl next door. For some reason, she embraced Columbus, and after calming down, she revealed that she had been attacked by a homeless man and bitten. However, Columbus didn't care about that. All he wanted was to comfort the girl. The girl couldn't resist and kissed Columbus before falling asleep in his arms. Columbus must have been overjoyed, already thinking of baby names. Before I knew it, Columbus was asleep. When he woke up, he found the girl had turned into a zombie. Now was not the time to dwell on the reasons. Survival was paramount. The girl chased after him, and after a deadly struggle, Columbus knocked her down with a toilet lid. Upon stepping outside, Columbus witnessed a world turned upside down. Zombies were everywhere, and the city had fallen into chaos. Over 90% of the global population had been infected, leaving only a small number of survivors. Seeing the devastated streets, Columbus felt that life had become incredibly dull. He decided to head to his hometown to find his parents. However, before he could get far, a jeep suddenly appeared behind him. Columbus quickly took cover behind his motorcycle, gripping his gun with trembling hands. A man stepped out of the car, and both of them aimed their guns at each other. Tensions rising, Columbus was terrified. Looking at the fierce man, at the brink of conflict, Columbus surprisingly gestured to hitch a ride. The man turned out to be kind-hearted and signaled Columbus to get in the car. After all, having someone to talk to was better than chatting with zombies during the apocalypse. And so, the post-apocalyptic survival duo was formed. The man's name was Tallahassee, and besides enjoying showers, he had a soft spot for Twinkies. When they spotted a food truck on the roadside, Tallahassee couldn't resist checking it out, hoping to find a Twinkie. Unfortunately, there were no Twinkies inside. Much to his disappointment, he was determined to have a Twinkie, no matter what. So, he brought Columbus to a supermarket to find one. To ensure their safety, they picked up some weapons from their car. Tallahassee, being the tough guy that he is, even started playing his guitar at the entrance of the supermarket, attracting a group of zombies towards them. He quickly took care of all the zombies, but unfortunately, they couldn't find any Twinkies. They encountered a girl named Wichita, who revealed that her sister, Little, had been bitten by a zombie. Little wanted to borrow their gun to end her life before she turned into a zombie. Columbus couldn't bear to do it. Looking at the tearful sisters, Tallahassee stepped in to handle the situation. Just as Tallahassee raised his gun to fire, Wichita said she wanted to do it herself. Tallahassee didn't think twice about giving the gun to Wichita, but as soon as the gun was in Wichita's hand, she pointed it at Tallahassee. It turned out the whole thing was a scam by the sisters. The sisters not only took Tallahassee's weapons, but also the jeep. Watching the cunning sisters drive away, Tallahassee and Columbus could only curse their luck. Just as they were getting frustrated, they noticed a Hummer parked on the side of the road. They went up to check it out, and apart from the steering wheel, which was a bit nasty, the back seat was full of surprises. Regaining what they had lost felt great. On the road, Tallahassee also talked about his past, revealing that he has a tender side. He was once attached to a puppy. Sadly, the dog got bitten by zombies after the virus outbreak. Just as Tallahassee and Columbus were starting to forget their recent deception, they spotted the sisters' jeep parked on the road. This time, both of them knew it was surely another trap set by the sisters. Tallahassee decided to check it out alone while leaving Columbus behind for support. After a thorough search, he found no trace of the sisters, but his car had broken down. He signaled Columbus that he was safe and to come over quickly. Little then emerged from the backseat as soon as Tallahassee returned to the car. Turns out Columbus just got hijacked. Meanwhile, Wichita was hiding behind a haystack. Once again, Tallahassee and Columbus found themselves in a tough spot. The sisters were definitely not good people. Before the virus outbreak, Wichita drove a luxury car to a gas station and pretended to be looking for something. She used her alluring charm to attract men's attention. When a man approached to inquire, Wichita told him she had lost her engagement ring, which was worth more than the car. She had to catch an important flight and asked the man for help in finding the ring. To sweeten the deal, she promised a reward of $30 million and gave him a contact card. After Wichita left, Little came into the picture. Little picked up a diamond ring that had been prepared beforehand, knowing that the man would ask for it when he saw it. She then demanded $5,000 from him. Men naturally pay willingly at the thought of a $30 million reward. As a matter of fact, there was a large bag of such rings, and the sisters used this scheme to cheat a lot of men. After hearing the story of the sisters, Tallahassee angrily grabbed the gun. A gunfight was about to break out, but Columbus was able to stop it in time. Both sides decided to make peace. After all, there weren't many living people in the first place. Unity was the right choice. During the conversation, Columbus learned that his parents' city had fallen to the virus, leaving him no choice but to continue following the group. They took turns driving and soon arrived at the Hollywood studios. They decided to find a place to rest and parked the car in front of zombies, quickly grabbing a map before leaving. Following the map, they reached a megastar's mansion, opulently decorated and filled with abundant supplies. It was like an apocalypse paradise, except for the lack of Twinkies. Just when they thought they were safe, a zombie suddenly appeared in the hallway, looking exactly like Tallahassee's favorite megastar. Without hesitation, Wichita swung a golf club and knocked the megastar down. The superstar let out a scream of pain, but it turned out that he wasn't a zombie. He was just dressed up like this, and he was enjoying the fun that came with the show. Facing the still-living megastar, Tallahassee instantly turned into a fanboy. Learning that there were two other people in the cinema, the superstar decided to scare them. As an actor, he plays the zombie very realistically, and the two men are scared by him, but what he didn't expect was Columbus to shoot him to death. Thus, the once famous megastar met his demise, a consequence of playing with danger. In mourning, they wrapped the megastar's body and held a simple funeral for him. His death left them all feeling a bit melancholic. Tallahassee also revealed his story, and it turned out that the little dog he mentioned earlier was actually his son. He couldn't accept his son's death and had been avoiding facing reality. Over the next few days, they all stayed in a luxurious mansion, and their bond deepened even further. Tallahassee treated Little like his own daughter, teaching her precise shooting skills. Meanwhile, Columbus and Wichita's relationship grew stronger. Just as Columbus and Wichita are about to make out, Tallahassee shows up and interrupts them. The next morning, the sisters drove away in the Hummer. As Little wanted to visit an amusement park, Wichita agrees to fulfill her wish and they go to the amusement park. They flipped all the electrical switches and the whole amusement park came alive. However, the loud sounds from the operating rides attracted hordes of zombies, and the sisters were having a great time without realizing the imminent danger. Zombies broke through the amusement park fence. The sisters then realize the zombies. They shoot and run in the direction of the car. The zombies are chasing them. The sisters manage to get into the car, but it's surrounded by zombies. Wichita tried to stomp on the gas pedal to move forward, but the car's roof was already covered with zombies. They have no choice but to abandon the car. The zombies are swarming behind them. They can only shoot as they run from the hordes of zombies, but this is not a long-term solution. So, they boarded the drop tower, and just as the zombies were closing in, they ascended into the air. At this point their feet are full of zombies. They are completely desperate, and coupled with the exciting drop tower, Little suddenly feels that the amusement park is not fun anymore. To stop the descent, Little used the shooting skills taught by Tallahassee to shoot the drop tower's switch, causing it to come to a halt. Just then, Columbus and Tallahassee arrived at the amusement park in spectacular fashion. Columbus and Tallahassee kill their way into the amusement park and then split up. Tallahassee uses a horn to lure the zombies away. Columbus is responsible for rescuing the trapped sisters. Tallahassee skillfully handled the amusement park equipment and went on a frenzy of shooting at the zombies. He then got on a roller coaster and picked off zombies one by one, showing off his zombie killing skills in various ways. Tallahassee tried almost every ride and eventually jumped into a small cabin. He locked the doors and windows securely, took out his ammo, and with both hands on the gun, he vented his longing for his son, showcasing his shooting skills in a spectacular display, eliminating all the zombies. On the other side, Columbus made his way through the zombies and arrived at the base of the drop tower. However, he was blocked by a zombie dressed as a clown. Normally, Columbus would have run away in this situation, but with the life of his favorite girl hanging in the balance, he picked up his hammer and chose to fight. He eventually managed to defeat the clown zombie. By that time, the sisters had run out of bullets, and a zombie grabbed their feet. Columbus arrived just in time to save the sisters in the end, and Columbus got his wish to kiss Wichita. They found some Twinkie here, but they had been crushed to pieces. Just as Tallahassee was disappointed, Little had long ago left him. Tallahassee was moved and almost teared up as he ate the long-desired Twinkie. The four of them set off once again, embarking on a new journey for survival.